I remember the lighting first. Soft, golden, forgiving. The kind of light designed to make everything feel warmer than it really is. Weddings are built that way. The edges blur. Even complicated families look almost harmonious if you squint. My brother looked happy, or at least convincingly happy, which, in our family, often passed for the same thing. I had chosen a table near the back. Not hiding, just minimizing. There's a particular skill you develop when you grow up as the sibling people quietly measure others against. You learn how to take up less emotional space without anyone noticing. The room pulsed with the familiar rhythm of celebration, glasses clinking, laughter rising in uneven waves, that gentle background hum of people performing joy. I watched my brother move from guest to guest, shaking hands, receiving hugs, playing his role. We hadn't spoken much in the past year. Nothing dramatic, no explosive fight, just a slow accumulation of misunderstandings that hardened into distance. Then came the speeches. His best man went first, affectionate stories, harmless embarrassment, the usual. His new wife followed, voice trembling with sincerity. The crowd softened for her, as crowds do. When my brother stood and reached for the microphone, the energy shifted in that subtle, almost imperceptible way large groups sometimes do. Not tension exactly, more like anticipation searching for direction. He smiled. "My sister," he began. A ripple of polite attention moved through the room. A few heads turned toward me. Reflexive, curious. I offered the same neutral smile I'd been wearing most of the evening. He laughed lightly. "You all know my sister is successful. Lauder. Easy. Agreeable. She's the rich one." More laughter, louder this time. "People like clarity. Categories." I felt the first flicker of unease, not from the words themselves, but from something in his tone. There was a brightness to it that didn't quite match his eyes. "And," he continued, "she's also the most selfish person I know." The laughter didn't stop immediately. It thinned first, like a sound losing oxygen. Some guests chuckled uncertainly, glancing at one another for cues. He pressed on. "So, since she'd never think to give me something meaningful." Another grin. Wider now. Tighter. "I've decided to take her yacht as my wedding gift." A few scattered laughs. Mostly silence. I became aware of my posture, my breathing, the strange sensation of being both hyper, visible and oddly detached from my own body. 300 people, and yet the room felt sharply, painfully focused. It might have ended there, an awkward joke collapsing under its own weight, but something in him had already crossed a line I couldn't see. He turned toward me, microphone still in hand. "You don't mind, right?" His voice carried easily through the speakers, casual, almost playful. I held his gaze. There are moments when you understand, with uncomfortable clarity, that anything you do will be interpreted as the wrong thing. Defend yourself, and you're cold. Stay silent, and you're guilty. Laugh, and you're arrogant. So I did the only thing that felt remotely stable. I smiled. Not a mocking smile. Not a forgiving one. Just composure. He stared at me for half a second, long enough for something unreadable to flicker across his face. Then he walked toward my table. I remember chairs scraping. Someone inhaling sharply. The slap wasn't loud. That's the detail people always get wrong when they retell it later. They imagine a crack, a cinematic sound, something dramatic enough to match the emotional violence of the act. In reality, it was a dull, flat contact, almost intimate. The room fell into a silence so complete it felt physical, like pressure against the skin. My cheek burned, yes. But what struck me more was the expression on his face afterward, not rage, not triumph, but something closer to panic, as if he hadn't fully expected himself to do it. I did not stand. I did not speak. I kept smiling. Not because I was above it, not because I was strong, but because dignity in that moment felt like the only thing that still belonged entirely to me. And then a chair moved. Slowly, deliberately. From a table near the center of the room, a man stood, older, gray-haired, calm in a way that immediately reorganized the emotional geometry of the space. He did not rush, did not raise his voice. "My apologies," he said. though no one had asked for them. People recognized authority before they consciously processed it. You could see it in the way backs straightened, conversations died mid-breath. I don't usually intervene in private events. His tone was measured, almost conversational. But I am a judge. The word landed with quiet, unmistakable weight. He looked directly at my brother. What you just did, he continued, is not humor. It is not celebration. It is assault. No drama, no theatrics. Just language stripped of social cushioning. My brother's face drained of color. The judge didn't linger. Didn't lecture. Compose yourself, he said. Now. It was the kind of command built from decades of being obeyed. The atmosphere changed in an instant, not into vindication, not into spectacle, but into something more sobering. Reality reasserting itself. No one applauded. No one knew what to do. And I sat there, cheeks still stinging, smile slowly fading, aware of something both unsettling and clarifying. Humiliation, I realized, doesn't always destroy dignity. Sometimes it simply reveals who had it to begin with.